It's been an absolutely devastating day for Donald Trump, where he's been receiving poll after poll of more bad news as Vice President Kamala Harris surges in the wake of that disastrous debate for Donald Trump that everybody is still talking about. And people who are just tuning into the election are going, what the heck was that? We are seeing Americans of all stripes now uniting together. They are posting videos on social media speaking about their support for Vice President Kamala Harris and repudiating the filth that is Donald Trump. First, let me dig into some of these new polls, and then I want to show you some of these incredible videos that are going viral right now, especially on TikTok, where Donald Trump is just getting hammered in post after post after post, being absolutely mocked ruthlessly. My name is Meiselas, and I am with the MeidasTouch Network. So first, I want to show you this Harris x Harvard national poll. Harris is up, Vice President Harris is up 52% to 48% in this poll. Why is this significant? Because of the trends. We are seeing right now the first time that a Democrat has led in this specific poll in all of 2024. This same Harris x Harvard poll had Trump up on Biden or Harris by 4 to 6% in all their polls from January to July, and they had a tie in early September. This comes after the release of that morning consult poll that we reported on this morning, which has Kamala Harris up 6 against Donald Trump, 51% to 45%. This is the largest lead by any candidate in this poll in the entirety of 2024. Next, we have the Monmouth poll, which was released today, that also shows Kamala Harris up 5 against Donald Trump. That is an A+ rated poll, followed by the Angus Reid Global poll, a B+ poll that has Kamala Harris up 4. So we are seeing these new trends. We are seeing a new race emerge after this debate, as people are saying enough is enough of the chaos of Donald Trump. And while we don't love the polls here, it is nice to see the trends. And of course, we do know that these polls are going to make Donald Trump incredibly, incredibly angry. Okay, I got to show you these videos now. I'm not sure if you're on TikTok. First off, if you're on TikTok, make sure you're following MeidasTouch. We just hit 1 million followers on TikTok. But the TikTokers are absolutely shredding Donald Trump every single day. They have absolutely had it with his nonsense. They have had it with his chaos. So first, I want to show you this clip where this woman, with her righteous indignation, talks about what Donald Trump is doing to immigrant communities in the United States.
In what world does a candidate for the presidency of the United States of America get on stage in front of the largest debate audience in history and say that immigrants in Springfield, Ohio are stealing and eating people's cats and dogs, their pets, because he heard his running mate say it? So why fact check this? Let's just get boxed into a corner and blurt that out because you think that's a good talking point. Meanwhile, in Springfield, Ohio, you have bomb threats for schools, you have community hate, you have Proud Boys, and then yesterday, Sunday, your running mate gets on a Sunday morning talk show and admits he made the whole fucking thing up. Seriously? This is where we are. And there are some of you out there that are still gonna vote for this. I am truly baffled with my fellow man. Truly baffled. I'm telling you, what a fucking shit show.
Now let me show you this clip out of Florida. I mean, these people are door knocking there. They are feeling the energy. And if you've been seeing any of these videos in Florida, you have to think now, Florida might be in play, y'all. Here's the clip.
Just give us.
Hi everyone!
today.
We did. We're in Bay County, Florida, and we knocked how many? More than 100 doors today. And we are so excited that we are going to vote Kamala in. So I'm like, all the people, all the heads. There you go. Anything y'all want to say today?
Best doors ever knocked. People are excited to vote for Kamala Harris and Debbie Powell and Democrats up and down the ticket.
Absolutely. Awesome, y'all. Vote blue the whole way.
Here's a clip from Shelly on TikTok, and she really says it all here.
I no longer have any words for Donald Trump, except that he's the most vile, disgusting human being I've ever known or ever known of. And the greatest day of my life, and many Americans' lives, will be when he's not running for president any longer. And we don't have to hear his crazy, unhinged comments every single day. Just go away, please. Oh, and don't forget, vote blue.
I love this next video so much because this guy really represents the kind of America I think we all want to live in. We really got to be standing up for each other. Play the clip.
I'm a white, male landowner. I'll never lose my right to vote. Because I'm male, I can make choices about my body, so I never have to worry about politicians being able to tell me what to do with my own body or my own reproductive rights. I'm a licensed gun owner. Never have to worry about that. I've never had anyone tell me I can't open up a checking account. While I was born in the U.S., I can also trace my lineage directly back to 1896 from when my great-grandfather became a citizen. Right there. Along with my father's side. I am literally one of the most secure members of the most secure voting bloc in the country. My vote this year and every year goes to protect those that are not as fortunate and to give them the opportunities that I was born with.
So this next video is Father David Gerlach on Trump's vile and racist attacks against the Haitians. He's telling us everything we need to know about Donald Trump here. There has really never been anybody more unfit to lead this country than Donald Trump. And what he's doing to these immigrant communities right now is absolutely disgraceful.
Father David here. You know, Donald Trump's recent attack on the Haitian people in Springfield tells us an awful lot about Donald Trump and very little about the Haitians. As it turns out, according to the mayor of Springfield, all those folks from Haiti are there at the invitation of the mayor and the people. They needed workers, and the Haitian people are fulfilling that need. But when Trump says something as vile as folks who look different than he does are eating our pets, it tells us about a very dark heart that this man has. An emptiness that exists within him that he seems to have to draw upon when he attacks other people like that. Is that really the person we want to be the next president of the United States? Someone who draws on a wellspring of darkness rather than on a wellspring of light and love? Please, folks, think again if you're still on the Trump train. This man has had his time. It's time to say goodbye. God bless you all.
Here's a video posted by a veteran that is going viral. He really said everything here.
17 former Reagan staffers have now endorsed Kamala Harris. That's right, MAGA Republicans. You have destroyed your party. People are coming out of the woodworks to profess their support for Kamala Harris, a Democrat. You guys have destroyed that party, and you should feel pretty shitty about it, because Donald Trump has done nothing for America, and sure as shit hasn't done shit for the Republican Party. The Republican Party is in shambles, and what was once a great party, as far as I'm concerned, is now dog shit. And it's all because of Donald Trump and the people who were too cowardly to stand up to him. So start preparing to know that Kamala Harris is going to be your next president.
What I love about this next video is that this guy really explains in the clearest terms possible that if the GOP didn't have things to hate, they would literally have nothing to run on. Play it.
It is becoming increasingly clear that if the GOP and Trump and his followers don't have something to hate, they have nowhere to go. Their entire platform is based on hate of other people, hate of Haitians, hate of immigrants, hate of Democrats, hate of the deep state, hate of rhinos who used to be in good standing with the GOP. It is constantly hate. What do you think happens when all you do is hate? Just stop. Where are the reasonable people in the Republican Party? Where did they go? I don't see any of them. I don't see anybody standing up who's in good standing right now. I don't mean somebody who's already left. Somebody who's in good standing right now. Stand up and be counted.
And I love this one. This is a guy talking about Donald Trump saying that he has concepts of a plan at the debate.
Repost this video if you understand what would have happened if Kamala Harris had shown up to the debate and said she had concepts for a plan. Repost this if you understand the double standard that would have applied despite her being in the race for 6 weeks versus 9 years for Donald Trump. Repost if you understand the reason Trump couldn't get Obamacare replaced is the same reason he lost the debate. He doesn't know how to plan, he has no strategy, he is disorganized, he fails, and then he blames. He did the same thing in 2016 when he had no field organization and he lost the popular vote. And then he did the same thing again in 2020 when he had no field organization, he got massacred in the popular vote, and he lost the Electoral College. He did the same thing after the job losses due to COVID, even though he had a year from the first COVID death before he left office. He even did the same thing after January 6th. Oh, I didn't ask anybody to attack anything. You're the president. And he blamed his own people again after he waited 2.5 hours before he said anything on January 6th because they only asked me to give a speech. You were the president. Sloppy, reckless, fail, blame. If Donald Trump had been born a woman, he would be irrelevant by now. Living under a bridge with his 4 kids from 3 wives, begging for $1 so that he could buy them a hamburger.
Now let's check in with the South for a second. This is a Southern guy. This is Eddie from Atlanta. I love to see the South representing for Kamala Harris.
Hey, y'all. On the days that I work, I talk to a lot of people coming in and out of here because, you know, Southern people like to talk. And so anyhow, I just had my buddy Roy. Roy was about 70 years old. His wife died a couple of years ago. He walks in the shop. You know, we got these Harris signs all around. Selling Harris signs and so forth. And so you know how people's kind of passive aggressive. He walks up to me and he's like, Eddie, have you heard about what J.P. Morgan says? I'm like, what is it, Roy? And he said, they're saying this is no longer a recession. We're actually now in a deep depression. And y'all have to realize now, I'm a blueprint shop in the city of Atlanta. In the history of mankind, there has never been a period in history where Atlanta is on fire, building on every corner as much as it is right now. And I'm like, Roy? He said, yeah, and you know what they're saying over on the radio stations when you listen to them? If some of us can just survive until 25, we might be all right. I'm like, Roy, are you in bad shape? Do you need some money? I can loan you some money. He said, no, it ain't about me, Eddie. I'm like, Roy, you 70 years old. You got more money than you'll ever spend. You are never going to go hungry a day in your life. Matter of fact, you can eat the most finest steak from here until the day you die and never miss a dime of it. He said, well, Eddie, it ain't about me, though. It ain't about me. It's about the 18 families that work for me. I'm like, Roy, have you had to cut their pay? He's like, no. He said, but I'm worried about this depression we're in. I'm like, Roy, you got more work than you can ever do. So anyhow, the mindset that people buys into, Trump supporters, they think the country is going off the deep end, that we're in a great depression. They think if we can just survive until Donald Trump gets in 2025, we're going to turn it around. Good heavens, people. I have lived on this earth for 69 years now. I have never seen Americans eating better, sleeping better, riding better, doing better, living better. Even poor folks over in the poor side of town got little Apple iPhones they talking on, you know? And you go into any restaurant in Atlanta and there's thousands of them. You can't hardly find a table, people out eating. You go into any of the shopping centers from Target to Walmart, they can't hire enough cashiers to people in there shopping and buying stuff. What in the hell are they talking about if we can survive? Good Lord. And there's a lot of people like Roy, you know, and the people that have money, you know, Roy probably could write you a check for $1 million and you didn't tell him nothing about it, and he'd forget about it. He even wrote you a check for $1 million. But he thinks he's in a deep depression. Trump supporters, they just live in some kind of weird false reality out there. It ain't true, y'all. We're going to carry Georgia. We're going to carry Georgia for Kamala Harris. We're going to defeat Trump. It's a bunch of craziness out there on the other side. See y'all. Love y'all.
And while we're in the South, let's check out on a woman from the South for a second. I'm not going to lie. She had me for a second here.
If you are from the South and you vote for Harris instead of Donald J. Trump, then I have found my people.
This TikToker has had enough of the Trump people who just flood the comments by saying Trump 2024, Trump 2024. So he issued a response.
This might be a relatively different evening for me this evening because, yes, I've had a couple of drinks and I tend to be an awful lot more honest when I've had a drink. But I am genuinely angry and frustrated about how in 2024, this country can be on a fucking knife edge between a rapist, traitorous, adulterous, pseudo-Christian, supported by anybody that goes to church on a Sunday, and an honourable civil servant who is a recognised Catholic. I don't understand where this country is. I brought my family here. 10 years ago, this country was everything we hoped it could be. And now, a decade later, this country appears to be a fucking nightmare waiting to happen by the most ignorant, ill-educated, and easily manipulated motherfuckers on planet Earth. Anybody wearing a Chinese-manufactured MAGA hat right now needs to have a fucking IQ test because they don't deserve the right to vote. You are either a multimillionaire stroke billionaire who is manipulating these idiot motherfuckers, or you are a dumb piece of trash who doesn't deserve the right to inflict your opinion on everybody else with an education. I brought my family here. Why is this on a knife edge?
And finally, we couldn't end this video without reporting on a massive endorsement today from pop superstar Billie Eilish and her brother musician Phineas, who came out and endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris with a video. It is National Voter Registration Day today. They were encouraging everybody to vote and everybody to vote for Vice President Kamala Harris. A very big endorsement now coming after the Taylor Swift endorsement, of course, for Vice President Harris, and a great message. And this is a good reminder to all of you. Make sure that you are all registered to vote. Make sure that your friends and family are registered to vote. As Kamala Harris says, when we fight, we win, and we all need to make sure that democracy wins this November. Let's keep up this energy, everybody. Let's get to 3.5 million subscribers on YouTube. Remember to subscribe to the MeidasTouch podcast. I appreciate everybody leaving all the 5-star reviews, and we appreciate all the kind words that you are sending over to Ben right now, and I have passed it along. He is so happy seeing all of your comments and is so grateful for you supporting the channel while he is away. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Real quick, Meta just changed their algorithm to suppress political content. Please follow our Instagram at MeidasTouch right now as we head towards 400,000 followers so you don't miss a beat.